Hello BAME Farm fans. We're jumping straight into this fix-it video. I wish somebody had made this video for me before I started this, so I'm going to make it now. I've got experience. We're putting a new dash in the 2910. This is the new dash. Aftermarket from All States Egg Parts. I forget if these might have been made in India, probably the same parts they're using in those farm track tractors. But nobody showed actually which wires went where. And this new dash is much simpler than the factory OEM one. There are some differences. The back is made of a casting. We'd hope it's cast iron, but it's probably just pot metal. It's heavy. Doesn't need to be too structurally sound, just has to transfer current because there's only one ground wire. And with this one has a voltage regulator on it of sorts, where the old ones do not. Now this is very dirty, dusty, but we're going to start with the wire switch over. So this red wire right here, it's red with a green stripe, is power to the dash. So it will go on the I side of the regulator, which should mean input, but I have no clue what the B means. Yes, that is red with a green stripe. Now, there's a bunch of extra wires. This green one drew off where the red with green stripe came in right here. So we don't need this wire, we can leave it. Now, there's a green wire, and this is the side with the temperature gauge. This is a green wire with, it just actually might be plain green wire. This is the temperature sending unit wire. We're replacing this dash because the tach needle started going crazy on us. Now I'm trying to do this so we can see the transfer side to side. And of course the tab for the sending unit is kind of behind the voltage regulator. So we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna run and find a pair of pliers to bend that. Okay, I'm back with the pliers. Hopefully we can just kind of sneak in here. This is a pain having the steering wheel on the way. When I did this on the 6610, we had just put the new power steering system on, and I had not fully tightened down the nut, so I could take the wheel out of the way. And the 6610 got a new dash because when we had the lights wired, we put a new alternator on, and the new alternator was slightly different than the OEM alternator originally. There was an extra pole, and the ground wires did not reach the ground post, and we were just kind of, we didn't know what the ground wires were. And putting things based on physical location, like the wires only would reach so far, and they ended up having power back through the grounds, and we fried the temperature and the fuel gauge. It didn't work anymore after that. So that was an expensive mistake. These dashes are only like $80, so it's not horrendous. There's enough Fords out there to like mass produce these things. Okay, so we have the temperature gauge taken care of. Next one we'll do is in the darkness. This is pretty dirty anyways, and it doesn't matter whether I clean the dirt off or not, but this wire, bottom right corner, is black underneath all the schmutz, and it is the ground for the whole kit and caboodle, which there's a lot of extra grounds. The whole bottom plate is a ground, bolted onto the plastic, but we don't need that because the new one has this cast backing. And we can put this ground wire on right here in the middle. Voila. That's where the tach cable goes. That's straightforward. For the 6610, I was hoping we could buy just the gauges because the gauges do come off the front side of the dash, except the gauges are not available by themselves anymore. So unfortunately we have two tractors now that appear to be new. Now the other wire we need is for the fuel gauge. This wire is typically yellow. I have to make that because that wire is missing. The fuel sending unit is slightly off screen right down there for the fuel tank. So I have to make that wire. No big deal. 2 flat spade connector, female ends, and a short bit of wire. No biggie. So now we got to transfer lights. This light over here is the oil light. And they did keep the lights in the same order, and all our lights work. So now it's just moving them around. The funny thing about these lights is that they are activated. That's a snug enough fit. They're activated through the ground. They have power supplied to each light, and they're activated through an individual ground to each wire, or to each light. Let's see, we're going to try to keep these in order. And the only thing that's holding us on here are the 2 backlight bulbs to light up the dash when you turn the lights on. Let's see, I need a flashlight on my side to see real quick. An airflow light. We do not have specific airflow pictures. There's no symbols, but we're going to use this open red one. This one comes with a green indicator lens for when the flashers are on. So that's fairly simple doing the lights. And now we have to work a little bit harder to get the lighting, the work light bulbs put in. These ground through the casing, or on this old one they ground through this metal plate here. So they had a lot of extra wires running just to ground everything. I'm going to pull this connector off. Maybe. Because to get these bulbs out, these lights out, you got to pull the bulb, push in and twist. The way the clamp is made, it pushes against the bulb, and I don't know if I can get that. Oh. I got it out of there nicely. We'll see if it still works. For the 6610, I had to take the bulb out to get these out. That went better than anticipated. So yes, we're taking this one out. You can see the dial needle is bent, and it goes crazy. You get over 800 RPM, and you don't know what you're doing. It seems to be logging hours normally, but for some things I like to know my exact speed. Like when I'm mowing hay, I want to make sure I got the mower, running PTO speed. I don't want to be guessing at how fast we're running or not running. And I always think, that running the conditioner slow is bad just for the fact of having trouble mowing. That's a pretty snug fit. I don't want to know what I just heard fall. That's a good snug fit. We'll test our lights real quick. We'll turn this so we can see on the camera. Right there. That's 1 spot. That's 2 spots. And we don't have dash lights. So, give me a second. And I will go find replacement bulbs, which we have, because we put those in the 66, and then we'll try it out again. I am back with bulbs. They are 57 CP. Just little guys. I gotta quick change these out. And I made a wire for the fuel gauge. This one is not yellow, it's black because I am not well stocked with any and every color wire. And I just happened to find this black roll before I found the red or knew where the red was. So somebody's gonna hate me down the line, might be myself. But I like to say we could use our eyeballs because this wire is so short and the fuel gauge is like 5 inches away. That we could figure out that, we could just trace that wire back and find it. So these bulbs just have 2 little points that stick out. And you stick them in and you give them like a quarter twist. Going in and out. Oh, well that's just lovely. That's the joy of pulling the lights in and out. The camera gets punched. Getting them in and out of the casing. Uh-oh. Come on. Come on. Of course. The glass is turning without the base. Come on. There we go. Yep, that's definitely not a good bulb then. I think we got a new one. And I can't test these until I put them back in their spot. This is a taller bulb than before. Didn't have issues with this yesterday on the 66. But that is a taller bulb. Very interesting. As long as it fits. Yep. Okay. Hopefully this one isn't as horrendous. Who am I kidding? I think it's turning too. I can't even get it. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Well, this is gonna be an exercise in shouting bad words, right? Come on, pliers, don't fail me now. Oh. Okay, we need a lesson in extracting these things, and I don't have a good plan, so give me a minute. So far, my plan is just sticking the needle nose pliers in there and pushing down and twisting. The pushing down is working, and we can't see because this is all sooty yet. This tractor, I think, had a severe exhaust leak, is why this stuff is all black. Maybe if I grab the casing and twist a little bit, we're making progress. It's turning. Okay, do we have enough? We should. I can pull this, voila. The remnants of a 57 CP light bulb. Grab another one out of the box. And we'll put that thing back where it came from. Stick it in. Turn the gauges so everybody can see. And success. We've got lights in the dash. We have one light in the dash. We only have one. You can see there's a light around this one, but not the other one. So now I get to play with the meter and see if that one works. And then, let's see if it's the same bulb for this light. Those aren't a tight fit at all. Let's see. And this is the airflow, which also happens to be the same bulb. It has not lit up, so we're just going to put a new bulb in and try it. If not, we may need to look into the airflow sensor. However, you might be able to tell that there's not much airflow based on the fact that it's not running well, and possibly the engine is smoking. So that one's kind of a duh. The oil and the charging light are probably more important, and that is not a very tight fit. That's going to drive you nuts. Okay, time to show off the good news to everybody on that side. So when we turn the key, we have 3 red lights showing us 3 problems because the engine's not running. Good job, everybody. Okay, everybody look. We're going to pull the light switch. We have both lights lit up. All I did was put another new bulb in, so that was sad we had a brand new not good bulb. We turn the key, and we've got 3 warning lights. The fuel gauge moves. This is great. Now comes the magical moment. I believe all the wires have been properly addressed. Now we got to put the tach drive on and hope that I can line up the end of the shaft. It's square. This is a real pain with the steering wheel in the way because I don't have that much room to turn. There we go. to turn the dash to get things to line up. Now I could put it all together and see if it works, but sometimes I hate doing that for the sheer fact of you put it all together and maybe it doesn't work. We'll set it in close. How about that? Make sure it all fits. Sometimes that tach cable can make it real hard to set these dashes back in. Which we're having trouble there. But we can at least start it and make sure our needle doesn't go crazy. Hey, fuel gauge works. And now my oil pressure light doesn't work. See, that's why I didn't put it in all the way. That's not the turn signal, that's the airflow light, but the airflow light wouldn't stay in that hole, but it stayed in that hole. So there's a light, we'll know something's wrong. So it's not time to start it up yet, because I gotta change that light bulb. Well, it's almost like we have a new tractor. 0 hours. The lights work there. We got all the warning lights, all 3 of them. And let's watch it spin. Now, the, let's say flicking of the needle is mildly annoying. And that may be a product of the fact that it took me about 10 tries to get that dash in there. Because this dash, the casting, is thicker than the original dash. That's not very deep out the back there. With the tach cable rubbing on the fuel tank, it may impede, say, proper motion of the cable, and that may be why it's a little bit. So we'll catch you guys later with more fun farming or fixing action.